Hi, so for essay 3, I decided to talk about My Papa's Waltz by Theodore Roth, I think. I'm not really sure how to say his last name. The poem was about this little boy and how he was remembering his childhood with his father, who seems to be an alcoholic. And depending on how you view the poem, you could see it as him being an alcoholic and abusive, and then his mother not doing anything to stop what the father was doing. I have a list of things that I wanted to talk about. One of the things that really stood out to me of the imagery of the poem was the first sentence, which was, "The whiskey on your breath can make a small boy dizzy." That really stuck out to me to make it seem like the father really was an alcoholic, and that's really what the boy remembers of him, is that he just constantly smelled alcohol on him and it made him sick. Another part was that when he would hang on to him, and to me that made it seem like the father was really unstable from the drinking, and like when the father would like pick him up or something, he was afraid he was going to drop him because he just couldn't walk straight. Like when he said that when you waltzed me off to bed still clinging to your shirt. It seems like the little boy was holding on for his life because he didn't want to fall. Another part that stood out was another sentence that said, "We romped until the pan slid from the kitchen shelf," which made it seem like he was really bouncing all over the place, and the father wasn't stable, and he was running into a lot of different things, making items fall. And then it was talking about his mother's countenance could not unfrown itself. To me, it just made it seem like the mom would stand there and do nothing. And nothing to help the kid, nothing to help the father. She would just watch it. I would say the tone of the poem's sad. To me, it sort of seems like the kid's sort of resentful towards his dad because of the way he acted when he was growing up, and how all the boy remembers is how much he drank and how bad, like, he couldn't walk. I had a connection to the poem because that's basically what I remember of my childhood with my father. He is a very heavy drinker, and there are plenty of times where he couldn't walk straight. He would try to like hold on to us for support. He would run into things, fall on his face. He still does it to this day, but thankfully I don't have to live there anymore, to where I don't really have to deal with it. I personally just recall from my own childhood, the smell of beer on my father's breath. It was constantly, so I understand when he said that the whiskey in your breath can make a small boy dizzy, because that's all I remembered was smelling alcohol and beer, and how I never really wanted to be around it, and I never wanted to be around him while he was drinking because of that. And you never knew how he was going to act, and it seems like this boy didn't know how his father was going to act either. It could be like a constant guessing game, because you never know how they're going to act when they're drinking. Like, they could be really happy or they could be really mean. I'm pretty sure they don't even know how they're going to act when they're drinking. Another one. Another sentence in here that he said was, "But I hung on like death. Such waltzing was not easy." So it made it seem like he was clinging to life when his father would hold him, because he wasn't sure how the father was going to act. He could have been fine, or he could have dropped him, he could have hit him. Another sentence was, "You beat time on my head with a palm caked hard by dirt." This made it seem like maybe he was abusive towards him, or maybe like the father just thought, you know, he was playing around and the child took it as him being abusive to him. From my own experience, like I know when my father would drink and act like that, he would think that he was joking and, you know, just playing around, but to me it was him being a jerk and he was being mean, and I didn't find it funny. And I feel like that's what this kid is going through, and that's the way he feels towards his father. And then I also know like how he feels with his mother not doing anything, because that's the way my mother was. She never stopped it. She never tried to stop it, because if she did, then it was like an argument and another fight, and there was really just no point even bothering, because they made their choice and that's what they were gonna do, and there was nothing you could do to stop them. So overall, I feel like this poem had more of a personal connection to me than other ones we have read this semester. I did enjoy it a little bit more because I could understand it, I think, better than other ones, just because I could feel like the connection to it. I decided to try a video for this one to change it up instead of an essay. So hopefully it was good, and thanks for watching.